Okay, people. So, we have got a new horror film for you, right? It's from the great people at Catlin Hughes PR. And the film is Movie Theater Massacre, right? Whew. That's the title, right? Movie Theater Massacre. You know, definitely invokes it invokes a lot of shit, right? You know what I mean? It is written and directed by Ian Courtney. Yo, Ian wears a lot of hats with this film. A lot of hats, right? So he also produces the film, right? It's co-produced by Lizzie Anna Wakefield and associate produced by Dan Lemieux. Ian also, I told you, wears a lot of hats, man. He took care of the cinematography and editing duties. You know what I mean? The film is set decoration handled by Alicia Latouf. Production design is Michael Oak. We have music handled by Aaron and Steve Green, Greg Mastin, Adam Mercer, Sol Risato, and Voyager. I think Voyager might be a group. You know, I don't think anyone christened their child Voyager. But yes, costume design was handled by Shelby Van Oppen. Hair and makeup, we've got Dom Fabi, Robin Lee, and Ara Markstrom. The special effects were handled by Chris Drillard. Right, Chris Rosick was visual effects. Casting was handled by Ryan Hill. Right, and our cast. Let's get to the cast. Right, so Dan is played by Adam DeFilippi. Val played by Caitlin Cavannaugh. We've got Willie, played by LeJon Woods, right? Jake, played by Jalen Wilson-Nelem. Rachel, played by Jessie Carl. We've got Nick, played by Jordan Talor. Who else do we have? Cecilia, played by Shahadi Hassan. And Winston, played by Michael Adams. Right? The Figure, played by Mike Lemieux. You got Vivian Gillette, our fortune teller, played by Linnea Quigley. There's Harold, played by Alexandrou. Right, the lurking figure, played by Adam Lorenz. Juliet, played by Jennifer Ward. Another lurking figure, played by Steve Wyard. We got Mike, played by Rod Myers. Vanessa, played by Madeline Kaplan. Our investor, played by Joe Wakefield. Right, our female patron, played by Lanny Cool. We've got a few of the moviegoers, played by Shelby Van Oppen, Alex Nardelli, Nathan Wakefield, Brian Papadrea, we got Ari Shai, Oliver Cole, Dominique Harrison, Adrian Miller Jr., Megan Powers, AJ Robbins, John Scollon, Bianca Sullivan. John Denya, Shauna Gala, Russell Nocross, Dora Edwards, Damon Allen, Xavier Allen. Yeah, all theatre goers. We have got our Bagman, played by Eric Tuckshaw. Our woman at the end, played by Robin Lee. Let's just say that. Now, the gist of the film. Right? A group of employees are working their last week at a movie theater that is going out of business when a mysterious figure begins to murder people. I mean, that is rough. That's rough, right? The place you work is closing down, right? Closing down. And then people, your colleagues, your friends are starting getting murdered. So you're looking for a new job and trying not to die. Man, yeah, no one wants to be in that boat, right? But that is the story Ian is telling. I think something that jumps off the page straight away with this is Ian's a fan of movies, right? Ian's a fan of movies. Ian enjoys a good story and the dynamics of telling a story, and, because we open up with a conversation between Val and Nick. Val's closing down the cinema. Nick, he's finished his shift, and they're talking about Criterion films and just, movie watching and just all of this, right? So straight away, okay. And as the film goes on, there's these other conversations that really, get into all of that, right? You can also see that Ian is a fan of horror, Like, I think when it comes to indie filmmaking, obviously horror is a genre that's a little bit more accessible, right? Just because, you can be mad inventive with ways people die, creating blood and gore and all of those kind of things. You don't need a whole load of locations. It just makes it a lot easier. And the way horror is told, right? We've got all of these different styles of horrors and, slashers. And slashers is what is being incorporated with this one, And yeah, you see that, right? We see these different techniques. We see these different references. So okay, Ian likes horror, right? Which is going to make a viewer feel comfortable, feel relaxed, knowing they're watching a film made by someone that loves films and enjoys horror, right? So the film has those things going for it. And then it's just the mystery, the intrigue. How is this all going to play out, right? I think when we first meet our mystery person, let's say, yeah, you're just like, oh shit, okay, right? So now you're on edge, right? Because you're just like, when are they next gonna pop up, right? What's gonna happen next? Where are we going with this? And the days are going by as, the theater is closing. So who else is gonna die, right? How is all of this gonna play out, right? They're the things that you're wondering about, I think the film, it throws in that kind of Clark's vibe, right? A lot of conversations between the employees. You can see they all get along, right? But they're all very different. So it's those interactions, that you're kind of being like, oh, it's letting you get a sense of who this person is, right? Who is Jake? Who's Wily, right? another interesting thing about is we've kind of got a film within a film, right? I mean, not so much a film, but Jake is making a film, right? And he's using the cinema, which is, I mean, yo, if you had access to this building and it's shutting down, obviously, you know what I mean? Do your thing, right? So all of these things are playing into this, right? We've got these different ways people are dying, which is interesting. One of them, well, there's a few, right? There's a few different things which did have me wondering, because there's a lot of strength involved with some stuff, right? And you're just like, yo, okay. But it's interesting, And then the effects used, because, the budget isn't going to be huge here, right? But they managed to pull things off, right? Different techniques, right? Hoisting people up, throwing people, there's all of this stuff, it comes. So you're just like, oh, okay. Right? I'll say some of the dialogue does come off a little bit forced, right? And you just see some of the conversations, you know what I mean? That is a bit when Rachel says to Jake, okay, Mr. Me Too. And you're just like, I'm not sure she's going to use that, but I can see where they're going here. You know what I mean? Because, I think the problem you have with dialogue at times is what people might actually say in that context. You can't always write, right? Because mad people are gonna be offended. Mad people are gonna be offended, right? So you're trying to make it work for a varied audience. You know what I mean? So those kind of things, and it's a taste thing. You know what I mean? It's a taste thing. And also, not everyone talks the same, right? So how I say something isn't necessarily how someone else is going to say it. So you look at these kind of things. But for the most part, I think the relationships worked. I wasn't sure about the love interest, but that's all I can say. Wasn't sure about that, but it was definitely interesting. With the film, the way it ends, it did. You wonder about a few things, because I'm like, I don't know if everyone is on this, right? Because how's that gonna work? You know what I mean? And also, can something be done when someone else has it's difficult. Can't talk about certain things, people. Can't talk about certain things. But this is the feature film directorial debut from Ian. And man, you gotta give people props for taking the plunge, because making a movie is not an easy thing. It's not so many components to getting a story right, and not necessarily right? Because it's just like, what's right for one person isn't for someone else. So you're trying to make something work, have all of these people involved, doing these different things, And I think with the resources and everything else, they did a decent job, right? It kind of reminded me a little bit of, what is it? It was Showdown at the Grand, right? A film from Orson Obowitz. I think we looked at it at the end of 2023, right? I believe. it was around about that time. Yeah, November the 8th, 2023. Yeah, that was a film about a cinema closing, and they're trying to save the place, and can this one ninjas invade, and it's all kind of craziness, right? So I think if you liked Showdown at the Grand, I think the Movie Theater Massacre would work for you. I also think oh gosh, there was a film, I think it was Slumber Party Massacre, right? I think if you enjoyed that one, you would enjoy this. That one, oh my days, we looked at that in December 2021, which that was a long time ago, right? That was from Danishka Esfahazi, right? Written by Susan Kelly. Whew. Yeah, that was a while back. But yeah, I think if you like those films, if you like that kind of B-movie slasher vibe, I think if you, as I said, there is a kind of Clark's vibe to the interactions here. So, if that's your kind of thing, then yeah, Movie Theater Massacre could very well be for you. Now, there are things that don't, as I said, don't quite work. You know what I mean? Like, there were definitely questions at the end about, well, yes, there's definitely questions at the end, right? And as I said, I wasn't sure about the love thing, but Ian does his thing, right? Our cast do their thing. So, yeah, people, if you enjoy some horror, if you like a little slashing action, right? If you like movie theaters, you know what I mean? Movie Theater Massacre could very well be for you. It drops on Tuesday, the 4th of February. Yeah, we are basically in February, people, right? Drops on the 4th of February on all your favorite VODs, right? It's from Cranked Up Films, so you'll be able to watch it on their platform as well. So yeah, people, enjoy.